Next, we speak with a 16-year veteran in the real estate industry, Carmen Delgado, who literally wrote the book on real estate-owned properties. We asked Carmen to provide some context about the current real estate crisis in the United States.
We're looking at 45 months. When you have an approximate number of about 3 million properties already in foreclosure, you have an additional 3 million that are already at the 120-day past due stage, and then you have 3 million that are stuck in the HAMP and HAFA programs, which quite honestly 50% are already failing at it. We're looking at a bell curve of about 45 months. We're thinking that by the year 2050, it will take up to the year 2015 for us to hit that bell curve before we can slowly come down off of the condition that our economy is in. This is the first time. It's happened before. It seems like every 5 to 10 years we see this, but the difference now is that there's government involvement with this HAMP and HAFA programs. I think that I do foresee, we do see the light at the end of the tunnel. We just have to be patient and allow these systems that are already in place to run their course so that we can get back to stabilizing our economy.
20-year real estate veteran Willie Garcia spoke about the process after a property is foreclosed on and options for homeowners.
Once the property has foreclosed on once the bank has foreclosed on the property, it's assigned to a local broker. And what the local broker will do is he'll go out there and he'll check for occupancy status, see what is going on with the property, see who lives there, see if it's a family, if there are any individuals that might be handicapped. And based on that, the bank will make a determination as far as the amount of money that will be given for them for the relocation program, which is also called cash for keys. And then that process will, if the homeowner does decide that they will accept the cash for keys process, then the bank and the homeowner will come together with a term, which would be a specific time and a specific amount of cash for them leaving the premise. At that point, once that's consumed, then the property will go on the market.
Absolutely not. Basically, it depends on the investor and what their intentions are. A lot of them, the cash for key incentive is to get the occupants out of the property so that we can market it and sell it faster. A lot of the investors feel that they've already lost enough money and they don't want to expense any more out, so it's definitely up to them to determine whether they want to offer the cash for keys or not.
Our conversation turned to the legal rights of homeowners and renters during the foreclosure eviction process.
Basically, once we determine occupancy status, if it is occupied, the first thing we need to determine whether it's an owner occupied or a tenant occupied, because it varies in the amount of time that we can give them to remain on the property. The first thing that we do is assign an eviction attorney. The eviction attorney will send a letter to them. They'll either send a personal process server or they'll post it on the door and mail it via regular mail. The notice basically explains the rights to the tenant, the occupant, and basically seeks out information. Do you have a lease? Are you just renting? Or are you the owner occupant? It also gives them the legal aspects of if they want to contest the eviction, what they need to do, seek legal advice more than anything. The notice usually gives them 3 days to vacate. After 3 days, if you're the owner of the property, the attorney will move forward and file a summons and complaint with the Superior Court depending on where the property is located. If you are the tenant, after your 3-day notice, we're actually supposed to give you 90 days to remain on the premise. If you have a bona fide lease, a rental agreement, we have to either fulfill that agreement, whichever is greater than 90 days or your agreement, and we can't evict you until your agreement has expired, your lease. Once we file the summons and complaint with the court, if it goes uncontested, meaning the occupant does not answer our complaint, the county clerk will automatically go in and enter a default judgment giving us access to the property. At that time, the notice will go to the sheriff. The sheriff will go post a letter on the actual property, giving them 5 days to vacate the property. The sheriff will then go back 5 days later. If they are still there, it becomes a forcible eviction. The agent will show up with the sheriff and the lockout crew to evict them and change the locks. But this takes anywhere between 30 to 45 days, depending on whether was it contested or not. And of course, the capacity of the court to be able to move the case forward. Yes, you can. A lot of the times the investor will decide to continue with the lease and rent it to you as long as you agree that you'll allow us to market the property during the extent of the lease. If the occupant does not provide a leasing agreement, but they say they have one, basically as soon as it's over, we move forward with filing a summons and complaint and we evict them out.